Andrew Abanowitz. Mary Ann Turner, here. Charlie Masterbirdy. Kelly Davis.
Here.
Robert Krasnicki.
Here.
Kathy Plopper.
Here.
Rich Stroney.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you're missing 2 of your main members. You need to replace with alternates.
Correct. We have 2 alternates here with us tonight.
You have
Right.
3.
Rob Kwasnicki will be sitting in for Charlie. And do you have the rotation on hand with you?
I do not.
I
I
do
don't
not
know.
have my rotation. Lori, do you have the rotation handy with you?
No, I do not have that either. Sorry. I was looking for my
It's-
book.
I have it. Oh, no, it's 2019. Never mind.
Right.
Hi, this is Jen. I had to call in from my phone because my internet is being a little weird today.
Okay.
I didn't think that the
CBA.
ZBA normally did alternate voting schedules the way that planning and zoning does. I remember Raquel, I think, started it in 2019. And I think it was kind of a surprise if I remember correctly for the board to have that. We can certainly bring that back, but we didn't make one for 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, I didn't think I got one. Yeah, we've always had one in the past. We don't
No.
always.
We have not.
Okay. We had one, but we had the provision that the commissioner could name their own alternate.
Correct. So just pick one.
So, and our alternates sitting there are Rick and who?
Kathy Plopper
Kathy,
and
right?
Rich Stroney.
Let's go with Kathy tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Rich, I think we let you play before, so we're gonna give Kathy a chance.
No worries. Thank you.
Woohoo.
I don't want to exclude anybody.
Let's get going.
All right, Pledge of Allegiance. Did I see the flag? I did.
You did.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the flag of the
United
United
States of America and to the republic
Republic
To the
for which
republic
it
for which
stands,
it
one
stands,
nation,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty,
with
justice
liberty
for all.
and justice for all.
It'll be much easier when we get back in person for that.
Yes, it will.
No old business. Legal notice, please.
ZBA 2021-02-18, 36 South Street. Variance application to allow new front steps to be located 1.5 feet from the front property line where 5 feet is required. Under section 8.121.1I. Meta Chen, owner, Alan Dion, applicant, May 24, map 24, lot 1126. TD-2 zone. And it was dated the 11th day of March 2021. Maurice LaRosa, Chairman, Mary Ann Turner, Secretary.
Okay. Before the applicant speaks, I just want to read my little notification here, definition of what a variance is. A variance can be granted where such a grant will not affect the overall purpose of the zoning ordinance and where the strict interpretation of the ordinance will result in a hardship. A hardship exists where the zoning ordinance uniquely affects a parcel of land differently from other properties, and where the use of the property or reasonable use of the land would be impossible without the variance. Self-imposed or financial hardships cannot, by law, be considered a reason for granting a variance. With that, is the applicant with us tonight?
Yep, right here.
All right, state your name and address for the record, please.
Alan Dion, address is 55 Spring Street, Enfield, Connecticut.
All right, and go ahead with your application.
Well, so the whole purpose of me requesting the variance is, like, as you can see, the picture that's up there now, there's new sidewalks that have been put in, new sidewalks, new roads, and they've moved the property lines back approximately 4 feet. So the GIS said that there was 16 feet from the the front of the house to the property line, which would have given us the 5 feet that we needed to work with. But in actuality, there's only 12 feet from the front of the house to the property line now since the new construction. So that puts us back 4 feet, and it's going to cause us to encroach on that 5-foot rule. As you can see, the stairs there now, they're crooked and they've fallen out of code. They're very dangerous. I'm getting complaints about them all the time. So I have somebody who's willing to build a new set of stairs, wooden stairs, over the existing set, but doing the stairs by code, you know, with the proper rise, the proper tread. The last step, it falls around like 1.5 feet from the property line rather than the 5 feet. So that's the reason for the variance request.
Okay. Any questions of the board?
Can you help me with, I was out on the property and this picture shows me that all the sidewalks replaced, because I'm sorry, I thought all the sidewalks were redone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and did they make the sidewalks wider and that's why they're bumping?
I think they may have, like, the
Because this
road.
isn't the photo of today. There's another piece of concrete.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not in this picture. I don't know who else. I don't know how to put it up there. Rick, do you have that photo?
I think I know the photo you're talking about. It's in my PC. I don't know how to put it up.
Yeah,
in Google.
I'll see if I can pull it up from the main documents. That was just from Google Maps.
Awesome.
Anyway, so we're talking about from the house to the lawn, where that little area has that concrete thing around it. That's
Yeah,
that's what you're talking is your yard frontage. I was
right
out
from the
there.
house. From
Right.
the house to where the sidewalk begins.
Right, so right up to
Yeah.
the sidewalk. Okay, so
Yep.
I have a question that may not have anything to do with what you're asking. But why are you not replacing both sets of stairs? Because I was out there, the other ones are in worse shape, they look like.
What do
To
you
the
mean
right.
both sets? To the right. I'm not sure. I'm not the owner. I've never even spoken about that other set of stairs with her. This is just a job that she asked me to take on.
Are you a builder?
No, just a property manager right now.
It just seems that there should be okay. So, did we find the photo?
No, the one in the packet is the one from Google Maps as well.
Right.
Shows the same sidewalks.
If we have time, I have the photo on my PC. I just have to find it and
Oh, I
figure out
have it too.
Okay.
I just normally am not the one who puts this stuff up. And in
Well-
the end, it probably doesn't really make a whole bit of difference, so.
When they did the road over, when they did the sidewalks and everything, the property line didn't change.
No.
Okay.
So you still have the same property line.
They do?
So the code stayed the same, correct, Lori or Rich?
You're
As
you're
far as
muted,
I
Greg.
know, any sidewalks that have been put in the right of way. It may have gotten closer to the property line, but I don't know.
Right, but the property line didn't
The
move.
property line should not have changed.
Right. So you know, the fact that they put in a sidewalk didn't create the variance, the need for the variance.
So then why did the GIS say that it was 16 feet of space when in actuality, like I went there and measured it, there's only 12 feet of space from the front of the house to the property line, but GIS says that there's 16.
But are you measuring to the road or to the property line?
I'm measuring to the property, to where the sidewalk starts from the house.
But
to
you have
Property
the
line.
lawn.
the sidewalk isn't necessarily the property line.
Okay.
So you have to know what to look for on the GIS. The GIS will show you the road lines, the sidewalk lines, and it will show you property lines. But if you don't know what lines you're looking for, you don't always measure a front property from the road to the house or from the sidewalk to the house. You measure it from the property line, which
So
isn't
the GIS
sometimes the property line is 10 feet from the road in, and then your
Uh-huh.
property starts. And yeah, you take care of the right of way and you have use of the right of way, but it's not your property.
Right.
So
So
that's what you have to go
Mr.
through and measure.
if I measured 16 feet from the front of the house out, that would put me well into the sidewalk. That would put me like 2 feet into the sidewalk.
Right, but
Right,
that's what I asked.
Uh-huh.
Your property in the front, the property in the front did not change. It's always been that,
All
period.
right.
Okay?
Okay. That's
And
see,
when
we were thinking that because we thought that the property line would be where the sidewalk starts, where the lawn ends and the sidewalk starts.
Not
We
always.
thought that. Okay.
Not
Mr.
always.
Chair, this is Jen. If I may, I'm on the phone, so I can't raise my hand.
Absolutely.
So I actually double checked with the engineering department because when they did redo the roads and the sidewalks, they actually mapped the pins and the actual surveyed property lines for all the properties that are along that street. So I verified with engineering that front property line is where the sidewalk begins. It's right where
Okay.
that front curb is.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay.
And that, so it probably, if they widened the sidewalk, you probably saw more dirt there before, but your property line was still the same. They just brought the sidewalk up, back up to meet the property line. So,
Okay. Because now there's only 12 feet of space from the house to where the sidewalk begins. Okay.
right, but you didn't own all that space before. It was a right of way.
Right.
So now
Richard,
my next question would be, why aren't you removing the steps
right,
to put in the new
I-
steps? Because you
Yeah,
could do that. You could do that
Sure.
and not need any extra room.
Uh-huh.
You know.
I tell you, I'm not sure. This is, like I said, I'm not the owner. I'm just managing the properties right now. And the owner asked me to get the stairs taken care of. I have somebody that could do it, but he's not capable of removing the stairs or anything like that. He said that he could build some wooden stairs over the existing ones, build them safe and up to code.
Right, because that would be the easiest and cheapest way to do it.
but
Uh-huh.
Mo, so the question, aren't those stairs, aren't those cast stairs? They're not like they were made there. They were placed there.
Right, there, it's a
Uh-huh.
cast set of steps. You would have to bring a truck in, break them down and move them out. Which
Okay.
was what I was getting at.
Uh-huh.
And wouldn't that, if you replace those stairs with another set of cast stairs, wouldn't they just go back in the same exact spot?
No, you would move some dirt, you would fill in the dirt, level it out, you'd get it all to work out. And you could level them out better to meet the house.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is, but wouldn't they go in the same amount of space that he has
Yes.
right now?
Right.
Yes,
You-
that's
so
what I
you're saying
said.
that
You
we
wouldn't need any extra room.
variance.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I believe
I mean,
that the issue, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I could talk to the owner about that. I just took on this job in August, and this has been one of the issues that I was faced with. I've taken care of a lot of other things already, but I could talk to her about it. I know it's going to take more time. You know, she's going to have to find somebody, or she might even have me find somebody, and I don't know anybody that could do something like that, at least not right now.
But
But
before we get that far, hang on. Lori, what were you gonna say?
I believe that the point of this is so they could make the stairs, the rise and run to building code where the existing stairs are not.
Right, because, and then I understand that, because when I went out and looked at them, the stairs, both in the center and on the right. Rich, do you have the photos I sent you?
Give me 1 minute.
Thank you. They're very steep.
uh,
And I'm assuming that, and then Lori, I'm asking, or Jen, I'm asking, what can you please explain the code?
We're not the building officials, so I really don't know what the rise overrun is. But there is a specific
I
width and depth and height of steps. It looks like Rick Rochelle might have a comment.
So the issue with this is building code requires a minimum of 44 inches for a landing. coming
Right,
out of the
that
front
too.
door.
Yeah.
So it required 44 inches out from the landing first, and then the steps. So there's, I believe, 7 steps on the plans, and each run is 11 inches. So that comes out to 77 inches, 6 feet plus the 4. You're at 10 feet, 10 and a half feet. So that's where it has to extend out that distance, and it would be in the 5-foot setback area that's required under the new regulations for Thompsonville District 2.
So the issue here is that they need the landing by code. Whereas
Correct. So you-
currently there's no landing because it's just the precast steps.
That is correct.
And please explain those little flags.
Little flat. Well, I was asked to mark where the bottom step would land.
Right, when I went out there, I didn't realize those were those. I thought they were like, looking at the photo, they don't look like it's a straight line. It may
It
just,
should be. It should be. I
I mean,
measured
They
it.
look like utility flags.
right, that's where
That's
they
what I
threw
thought.
me. But where you see the flag on the left, it looks like it's at the crack of that concrete pad, right? And so that would be to me saying, okay, is that's where it's gonna
Oh.
come out to? But then the
That's
two
not
on
what
the
it is.
right look like they're in the middle, or at least a hard third of that concrete pad.
No, I placed those flags myself. They're both 1.5 feet from the sidewalk. I placed them myself.
It could just be the way the photo looks. I'm not
right.
disagreeing with you.
Uh-huh.
And when you bring this stair out, you're all this railing and the whole schmear is gone.
Mhm.
And you're probably, okay.
But so those precast steps, you can get precast steps in that meet building code. This looks like it comes out quite a ways from the house.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
So, if I can, question, are these stairs for the main point of egress for, looks like the second floor?
It's for the second floor main entrance.
And is it also the only egress that is facing the street for the
Yes.
second floor?
Yeah.
All right. Rick, I'm going to direct this to you if you're still on. So under building code amendment 1029.2 from the state of Connecticut, it mentions a group A occupancy that the main exit has to be on the front of at least one street and has to make room for at least, I don't know, several occupants or a couple occupants to have a gathering place outside of the building before descending down to the street. Am I reading that right?
That's correct. And the 44 inches is the minimum through the building department itself. I spoke to them regarding this.
And
You could
that's
have it bigger, but the minimum is 44 inches in
Okay.
depth.
The only thing that I have question about, Rich, can you pull back on the photo? I still want to see it. The second photo shows the other stairs. The only thing I'm of concern about is you're fixing this set of stairs and you need a variance to do it. I'll bet you're gonna probably need to fix the stairs on the other side. And it would just seem wise that you would come for both at the same time.
What do you mean fixing both at the same time?
Well, they look like, because I'm assuming there's an apartment on that other side, right? The right-hand side? How are they getting up and down? Those stairs are they look like they could get hurt on them.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I didn't.
Right there.
I just took this job over in August. If I was the one funding these projects, it would be taken care of immediately. But I'm not. And this is the project that she's trying to get taken care of right now.
The ones in the middle.
Yeah.
And was there a reason why this one was brought up first? Did Lori, was there a fire department? I saw they had documents. I wasn't quite following what Officer Ellis was trying to tell me.
I believe he was trying to say that these are dangerous steps right now, and so it's a life safety issue to be able to have proper ingress and egress.
But he was only, but what I was confused about is why wasn't he talking about all the stairs?
Because the application is only referencing one set.
Okay. And we're not gonna go
We-
out there and,
They
We
can
had
come back
just-
with the other sets later, but the application right now is for this, and you can't add to it
correct,
because of the legal noticing.
right. Okay.
Chairman
We-
Turner, if I may, so it's to answer your question, just from having some experience with the building codes and fire marshal, this is the only set that is violating the fire and building code, because the other one that you referenced has a gathering place as a main point of egress outside of it. So whether it's disheveled or whatever, that was what the fire marshal's looking at.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
I'm not sure if it makes a difference, but we had just right before this project, there was a set of stairs in the back that I had just gotten taken care of too. I don't know if that has anything to do with this. Maybe he was referencing those stairs in the back somehow. I'm not sure, but I know that we just did at that house a set of stairs in the back, brought those stairs up to code and everything, and we passed. Thank goodness.
Okay, well, that was really the only questions I have, was about the code compliance, and you've answered it for me.
I have another question, to the applicant. As the plans that were submitted, those extend out 10 feet?
Yeah,
10 feet? All right. What would it be if it was the minimum 44 inches with those stairs coming out?
I think that is the minimum.
Oh,
That's the-
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Any other questions? Rick, is this the absolute minimum required from the building department?
Yes, it is. 44 inches is the minimum for the landing portion. And then because of the 7 steps, each run is going to be 11 inches. So that extends out. They already reviewed the plans. So like I said, it's 77 inches plus the 44 inches. And it extends out. We came out with a 1.5 feet left to the actual property line.
Okay. All right. Any other questions of the board?
Nope, none from me.
Do I have a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Made by Mary Ann. Do I have a second?
Second.
Made by Rob Koznicki. Hearing is closed. Any discussion?
When will I have an answer? When will I know?
We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you in a moment. Right now, the public hearing is closed.
Okay. Should I leave?
No, you can stick around.
Okay. All right.
When I was in the area, I saw other buildings that had stairs that also were, I didn't measure, but I went out and I kind of walked the neighborhood a little bit, and you could see, if any of the rest of you went out, there are some stairs that have the wide landings, and the stairs are very close to what we'll call the property line edge. And I think that this, there's nothing they can do to change it, as we've discussed. So I think that this is the minimum.
Well, yeah, that's why I asked Rick if the building department had looked at that as the minimum, because as all of these buildings get older, and I'm down in this area all the time, and many of the steps have been replaced, but many of them still need to be replaced. And, you know, when the stairs come out, they have to comply to today's code. So you're gonna see this a lot down there. So if this is the minimum from what the building department's requiring, then there's nothing the applicant can do about it. It is what it is. So, anybody else have anything else? Rob?
No.
Yeah.
No, I think you summed it up perfectly. It's an older building, codes change, and it's set where it is, and it's not the it is to me it's yeah, you summed it up right. It's the property to me that's causing the hardship.
All right, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. I make a motion to approve ZBA 2021-02-18, 36 South Street variance application to allow new front steps to be located 1.5 feet from the front property line where 5 feet is required under section 8.12.1I.
I second it.
All those, roll call, please.
Mola Rosa,
Yes.
Mary Ann Turner, yes. Kelly Davis,
Yes.
Rob Kwasnicki,
Yes.
Kathy Plopper,
Yes.
500, motion passes.
All right, the planning office will be in touch with you in the next few days, and good luck with your project.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care. This was really interesting. This is kind of cool. Thanks, guys.
Well, give us your name and number and we'll see if we can get you on a border commission.
You know, I did. I applied for property management for, I think it was the building department. I'm not sure. I don't know. I applied for a job in there with you guys.
Well,
Yeah, I did.
well, good luck with this
These are
project.
jobs that you don't get paid for, so.
Yeah, we do this for
Oh,
free.
yeah. Okay. Well, I thank you guys.
Best of luck to you.
Have a good
All right.
night.
Yep, you too. Take care, guys.
Next legal notice, please.
Mr. Chair, this one, just before you read the legal ad, the applicants have requested once again to be tabled to the next meeting.
Okay, do I have a motion to table?
So moved.
And I'll
Second,
second it.
made by Mary Ann, seconded by Rob Kwasnicki. Roll call, please.
Oh, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
Rick has a comment and I'm confused because I've got two different date of receipts for this.
Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, so the issue was the appeal came in and submitted by Attorney Donnelly. And it was dropped off on late Friday afternoon, February 5th. We didn't realize it was down there. We actually took it in and stamped it February 8th. So Attorney Landolina made the request for the extension. So my only concern is Attorney Donnelly is the attorney of record on the appeal. And we have another attorney requesting the extension. I just don't want this to go past the 65 days of being heard. That's my
Okay,
only
so-
concern.
So when was your original take-in date?
We'd probably have to go with February 5th because it was dropped off at the town hall. We just weren't aware of it. It was in the
Right.
finance department and we got it Monday morning.
So
However,
we won't be able to table this now because we're gonna run into a date problem.
okay, Mr. Chairman, however, we are under COVID-19 executive orders, which can extend any date by 90 days. So they're covered that way.
Do they know that, Lori? In other
don't
words,
know
I don't
the-
want us, I don't want this to become, you missed a date, we win.
You know what? They gave this to us late this afternoon, so that's, if there's a problem, then that's on them.
The
Quite
other thing
honestly.
is,
Well, it
Statute-
becomes a problem on us, is what it becomes.
I mean, when I think they just emailed us the request late this afternoon, so we didn't have time to go and chat with them in the meantime.
Well,
The other thing is the date of receipt is, I mean, that's the day we got it in the office, but the
Yes.
statutory date of receipt is either the next regular meeting of ZBA or 35 days after you receive it in the office, whichever comes first. And so I
Right.
believe the date of receipt actually is February 22nd. So the
22nd.
65 days to open the public hearing hasn't gone by yet.
Yeah.
well, what if,
Wait,
all I have to do is open the public hearing. We don't have to hear it
No.
right now.
No, you don't have to open it.
don't open it.
No,
just
they're
don't want
asking
to
for an
trouble.
extension, and I agree with Jen that the date of receipt is the next meeting. So the day we got it into the office was 2/8. However, the actual receipt statutorily is the next meeting or 35 days after. So we always take note of that date that we get it in the office, but it's actually received at the next ZBA meeting.
Okay, but this can be their last extension then. Because we'll run into a
Not
time.
not necessarily because of the COVID-19, but hopefully by then, that they did also today submit an application for a variance for the same site and same building. So I assume that they plan on they plan on being in attendance at the next meeting.
All
But
right,
again, we got both of those late this afternoon. So there's really there is no problem with you doing the extension. I don't think there's gonna be a time problem.
all right, I trust you guys.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't feel there's a time issue, I'll go with that. I just didn't want to get, strung out later on because we passed the window.
Okay, but before we go and take the vote, I'd like to go back to what Rick was saying. We have two lawyers speaking for the applicant. How do we know which lawyer is the top dog lawyer?
They both are they both represent them and have been at previous meetings.
So here's the next question. If we were to open up the public hearing and we just close it again, I'm not close it, just open it, let it sit. What's the dates on public hearings? Will it run into our next meeting?
So
No, just help me understand the logistics. I'm not just, let's just use them as an example. Just help me get through.
So if you open up the public hearing, then the time frame for closing the public hearing starts.
Right,
I
which
believe
is
it's 35 days.
right.
But again, with COVID-19, there's a potential 90-day extension of any deadline.
Right, so that would get us in, so what would happen is we'd have all the dead air more or less until we get to our April 26th meeting.
Right.
And at that point, they would need to be heard that day or the hearing would end up closing.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that we're going to lose that 90-day window because all the executive orders could go away April 11th.
Yeah, but this predates the executive orders terminating, if they terminate. So we'd be good. We're good either way, I think.
Okay.
Do we have to officially acknowledge that executive order that we're executing?
Right
that-
now, you're not falling under it. However, when we get to the next meeting, we might.
Okay.
But right now, it is still valid within 65 days.
Okay.
Out of
So-
curiosity, what would happen if we missed, we go past the deadline?
He automatically gets,
It's an automatic win for them.
I
Interesting.
realized my thing wasn't on the whole time. So anyway, I think you are safe to move forward with extending this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next
so-
meeting.
I mean, I can go over the deadlines if you guys want me to do that. The next regular meeting was February 22nd, and 65 days from then would be April 28th, which is after your April meting. So,
Okay, then I'm good with that. I just want to give both sides a chance to have their arguments heard. So I don't want to make it a one side over the other because we missed a date. But if your calculations are that, then we're good.
you ready for roll call?
Ready for roll call.
And the roll call is to extend it to to
To table it.
to table. Thank you. Okay, Maurice LaRosa,
Yes.
Mary Ann Turner, yes. Kelly Davis,
Yes.
Rob Kwasnicki,
Yes.
Kathy Plopper.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, it's tabled.
Thank you. Next in your packet, you'll find two sets of minutes. You'll find February 10th special meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to
So
approve.
moved. Second.
Second. Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Maurice LaRosa,
Yes.
Mary Ann Turner, yes. Kelly Davis,
Yes.
Rob Kwasnicki,
Yes.
Kathy Plopper.
Yes.
February 22nd, 2001 regular meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Maurice LaRosa,
Yes.
Mary Ann Turner, abstain. Kelly Davis,
Yes.
Rob Kwasnicki,
Yes.
Kathy Plopper.
Yes.
All right. Do we have any correspondence or staff reports?
I don't have anything other than that one appeal. That's the only thing we have for ZBA pending in the office at the moment.
Okay.
And the
Except for-
variance we just got.
Yeah, the variance we just got today.
All right. Any other business? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We are adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Yeah,
you
that-
all.
Have a good
Thank
Night.
you all.
That was a quick
Have a good
meeting.
Night. Good night.